What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching Car Inside. It's a new week here on iRacing, and that means it is time for another qualifying breakdown. And for the very first time since I've been on iRacing, the C-Fixed Truck Series is headed to the Legacy, the classic Charlotte Motor Speedway. And boy, does it drive different than the current version does. It seems a lot faster, a lot more grip, and it had a whole different feel to it. It was an experience, and the hot lap is going to be on edge and almost wide open. It's pretty wild, but we'll let you watch it here before we go in and break it down. But big shout out to Bobby Anderson Racing. He has a really nice trading paints page. I'll drop a link in the description below. But he made this paint scheme, as you can see here, custom number 43. Also has one of its non-custom numbers of Mr. Ken Block. God rest his soul, someone that we thought very highly of. I was a big fan of Ken. Met him at Bristol a few years ago. Super good dude. Really nice. He was someone who played a big part of my life growing up, as I've always considered myself a blockhead or a hooligan and had a lot of his merchandise. So Bobby was cool enough to make a paint scheme and make it free for you guys to jump on there and grab it. Very awesome looking paint scheme, so thanks to him for doing that. Bobby does a lot for our paints, makes us a lot of schemes and stuff. Really good dude, so check him out and tell him who sent you. There's our hot laps. We're going to go back here and we're going to break it down. On your out lap, lap number 1, you might be able to get a hot lap on lap number 1, but I wouldn't advise it. Mainly because you're wide open through 1 and 2. You want to get as much grip as you can in these tires, get as much core temperature as you can built up into them, and not a lot of surface temperature, so you don't want to slide them. So going through 1 and 2 on our first lap here, we just kind of lifted out, rolled the bottom, just made sure we were keeping that wheel just as straight as we possibly could. We ran our hot lap with a 12-to-1 steering ratio, brake bias 62%, 0 offset, just kept it generic. It was nothing. We're definitely not using any brakes. But one thing we done here on our setting up our hot lap on lap number 1, as you come in here around the Monster Energy side, we just kind of lifted. And we're getting back in the gas somewhere about midway between these two checkered and the red sign there, probably about this Cup Series sign. Picking up the throttle. It's not too critical. You just want to be standing in it, coming off forward, downhill here, getting a good run. Don't turn the wheel too sharp through the bottom. Be about that second lane and what you're going to do from here. Start finish line, white line, wall. Never lift. Stay in it. To the wall, or to the grass, to the wall, and you're going to start turning in. As you're going to start turning in, as soon as you get to the wall, you're going to start coming off the wall as you see that safer barrier there. Going to be about halfway by the time you pass up this first little red sign here on the wall, the Bank of America sign. Now your line is very critical for you wanting to run full throttle all the way around the track. If you want to manage to keep it full throttle, the line that you run is critical. Don't get to the bottom too soon. If you do, it will step out on you. So you're going to be crossing over this first seam here around the Bank of America and down to the bottom as you approach the turn 1 sign. All the way to the bottom, you can see the truck here. As you can look at it, you can see it's really starting to step out. You can watch my wheel input here. I'm starting to turn back just a little. And you start coming up off the white line as you approach that turn 2 sign. All the way up off the bottom to the wall. Setting up turn number 3, you're going to crack the throttle very low. You're driving in pretty deep. Left side tires on that white line. You don't want to cross over too soon. It will step out. Left side tires there. And as you approach that line, it's a really good reference point. That's where you're going to start cracking the throttle. And I mean just barely getting out of it. I think we're 75% throttle there. All the way down to the bottom. You kind of start looking for this other Bank of America sign up here. That's kind of going to be a reference point to where you can pick up the throttle. But just feel it out. Run it down to the bottom. If you feel like you can get back in it sooner, then so be it. Oh, don't look for the Bank of America sign. Look for the Toyota sign. You'll never get back in the gas if you're looking for that Bank of America sign. It's over in turn number 1. So as we approach that, we're getting back into throttle. So we're down pretty consistently here to about 75-80% throttle. Approach the bottom and we're standing on it. We get back to the Toyota sign, up and off the bottom, and and we are using every inch of the racetrack there. As you can see, that's not a good view. Where's my chopper? There we go. We are using every inch of the track as we stand back on it all the way out to the wall. And you feel like you're going to tear the wall down, and we were very close, but we made it work, and she stuck. Back in it. That's mainly kind of running up off the bottom because you don't want to pinch it down and try to hold it down too strong here. We'll step out all the way out to the wall, back down to the grass, and that is a 30.278. That's about everything I had in me for that lap. The next lap, lap number 3, we're standing in it again. I was just kind of goofing around after this. We were actually able to stand in throttle all the way through 1 and 2 again. I think I may have tried to hold it wide open in 3 and 4, and it almost stuck. Yeah, but it stepped out. So lap number 2 is the hot lap. Wide open in 1 and 2. Modulate that throttle in 3 and 4. 12 to 1 ratio. 62 brake bias does not matter. For the race, I'll probably run my generic 57, bump it up to 16, keeping it at 0 just to be able to keep my wheel straight. Basically, as I always say, the yellow tape that's on the middle of the wheel, I want it to be in a straight line whenever we're running here. But I'll leave you with this picture here. I'll make it look like we're trying to hit the wall, but good little drift there from Mr. Ken Block himself. Rest in peace, Mr. Ken. He was a good one. Thanks to Bobby for making this design. Thanks to you guys for all the support that you give here on Car Inside. Greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 1,000 now. We're somewhere around 900 and the teens. So keep it up. Keep them coming. Appreciate it. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.